What's up, world? It's your boy Coop. You know, doing what I do. Sitting here, dolo, pondering, what Martians ponder. Seeing my boy Poot Nuggets. Shout out my boy Pooty Nugs. Little squadron. But, yeah, so I was just like, shit, I ain't did no video in a long time. Might as well talk to my people about something. So, let's see. Lately, I've been going through a lot of revelation. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always do. I try to keep y'all updated with the journey for the few of y'all that like to keep up with your boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be a recluse, but at the same time, got to walk this path. So, with that said, I've been going through a lot of strife and, not really strife like a lot of struggle, but you know how it is. As human beings interacting with other human beings, let alone interacting with the Martian. But yeah, so I'm realizing that there's a lot of people that ain't happy. A lot of people do a lot of things that they ain't really happy doing, but they tell themselves they happy doing it. And I realized for a while I've been one of them people, telling myself that I was happy with certain things and I'm happy doing certain things. But of course, with time and age and maturity and becoming wiser, you start to differentiate and realize what you really like and what you don't really like. And some of the things that you like, you realize really ain't all that good for you, even though you like them. Which brings me up to what I'm now starting to come into qualms with. In my life, I've had some pretty amazing people, very amazing people, to say the least. And to all them people, I owe a great debt of gratitude because in y'all's amazing moments, I've seen, I've picked, I've learned, I've deciphered. You know what I'm saying? It's all made me a better person. I have this thing where I always take people and I put them on pedestals. And not in a bad way, like, oh, they're better or unattainable or nothing, but I put them on a level of, this is the tough one, the explanation part. I always try to put people, hold them to less of a standard than I hold myself. Because in my head, I know that I'm a very analytical person. I've taken time and studied and analyzed and analyzed and analyzed to the point that I really don't socialize. I spend so much time analyzing. And I know that's not, quote unquote, the norm. So I don't try to hold that against, hold that anybody to that standard. But at the same time, I kind of shortchange myself by not holding people that standard. You can never change your company, your circumstances, or any of the above by settling or accepting people doing whatever. When I say doing whatever, if you notice there's something going on or something you don't like, it's up to you to express it. And we as human beings, we have this bad thing where we get more worried about how a person is saying something more than us worrying about what they're actually saying. A person could come to you and tell you some real shit about yourself, and rather than you hear the words and soak up the meaning of what they're trying to tell you, the first thing you naturally do, and we all do in some form or another. I used to be a passive aggressive type, you know what I'm saying? Now I got this thing where I just get quiet and I just stay to myself and I'm kind of distant. And like I said, ain't none of them right nor wrong, but we all have our ways of dealing with these things. And so, with all that said, it is insane of us, and everybody knows my definition of insanity, once again, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome, aka the hamster wheel effect, as I like to call it. You get off the hamster wheel, you get back on, and you run till you're tired, and you get off, and then you realize that was dumb, I could have went somewhere. And then somehow you slip right back on that wheel, and it just repeats over and over and over and over until you get some revelation and you make a conscious effort to make a change. And so, multiple forms and multiple ways I've been faced with this. Some in new forms, some in strangers, some in some people very, 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 very close to me and that have been a part of my life, my entire life. And me coming to grips and coming into contact with all these things at the same time is starting to show me that it's time for me to step over this next lesson, I guess. To learn this next lesson and come to grips with it so that I can hopefully transition on to a better place and on to newer lessons. That's what I was trying to say. So, first thing I have to do is I have to take responsibility for the part that I play in this, just like you have to, just like we all should. There is nothing on this planet anyone can do to us that we do not allow them to do. I repeat, there is nothing on this planet anyone can do to you that you do not allow them to do. Let's go ahead and clear this up for you extremists out there, because there's always one. Don't hit me with the, what if they run up on me with a gun and just blow my brains out? Once again, we're taking this in common sense conversation type of thing. Use your brain. We all know there's unforeseen circumstances, but I mean as far as emotionally, the way you react, all that kind of stuff. Can't nobody control nor make you do anything that you don't want to do. I used to find myself getting upset with people over a lot of things, and I used to always point, oh, she did this, he did that. This person doesn't like, this person didn't do what they said they was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we all do. And then we end up, that's what we're taught, basically. You know what I'm saying? Find the fault, look for it outside of self. I figured out one better, and this is what I apply to my life. Anytime anything happens to me that I don't like by any person, I just sit back and I look at it. What did you do to put them in that position to where they can hurt you like that? Either A, you gave them too much importance too fast. B, you gave them too much trust too fast. Or C, you just had your eyes glued the fuck shut. And I've been guilty of all three of those too. But with the more I get quiet and the more I start to pay attention, the more I realize and the more I try to correct these things. There's some people out there that take things personal. I try my best not to, but I understand it. But I have a firm belief that anything you do to me and the reason you do something to me ain't necessarily the way you're going to do it to somebody else or the reason you're going to do it for somebody else. So with that said, I treat every person as an individual. If two people that I know can't get along in a room together, I do my best to not put those two in a situation where they're in a room together, A. B, if that does happen, I try not to make it where there's a face-off or an altercation. I try to keep the parties separated to the best of my ability. Once again, I had to learn I can only take that with a grain of salt, because I cannot want these two parties to collide as much as I want. But if they have it in their head that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. So therefore I had to learn to step back and withdraw from that. And there's 80 million other scenarios and situations that I could bring up as examples for this, and so on and so on. But all of it is to allude to the fact that we all out here getting older. We all want the same thing. We want to be successful in whatever our walk or profession of passion is. We all want our families to be okay, taken care of, to not have to worry. We basically all just want that peace of mind. What they don't teach us is that peace of mind is attained in here and in here. We spend our whole lives looking out there trying to go find that peace of mind. So this year I've made me a conscious effort. Well, before I even go into that, last year at the end of the year, I had a